Hello and thank you for joining the Monday edition of Journalist Hangout. I'm Ayodele Ozugbakun. Today on the program, Governor Darius Ishaku speaks with Journalist Hangout on politics and development in Taraba State. I'll be hanging out with Babajide Kolade-Otitoju. So if you're ready, let the hangout start now. Thank you for staying with us. He's an architect and is laying a groundwork for the development of Taraba State, northeast Nigeria. Governor Darius Ishaku is striving to develop the state more by delivering some lasting infrastructure and planning new ones. In this exclusive interview with Babajide Kolade-Otitoju, Governor Ishaku speaks on some of these projects like the new Taraba Government House, Jalingo water project, as well as roads and bridges crisscrossing the states. Let's bring you the interview.
This is a special interview with the Executive Governor of Taraba State, Babajide Darius Ishaku. Good evening, Your Excellency.
Thank you and good evening.
How has it been these last 6 years finding funds for the projects that are dear to your heart?
Well, thank you, Jide, once again for coming to Taraba State. I really must thank you because each time you come, you are able to expose what we are doing in the state to the whole country. You are welcome once again. I hope you have a nice day with us. Yes, to be in summation, how has it been for the last 6 and almost half years now? How has it been? It has been bitter. It has been sour. And it has been sweet. It has been bitter because I never ever imagined I would see the crisis, the deaths that I saw. And I pray to God I never see it in my lifetime again. Where an innocent man with his wives and children will be eating their meal and somebody will wipe them out of existence. And you are sitting here as a governor, your core executive, you have nothing to do. Very, very bitter. Very, very sad indeed. It's sour because sometimes the programs you imagine that you can improve your people with, the things you think you can do and your people will benefit from it, you are not getting the success story. And to me, success is not 50%. It has to be 70%. It is sweet. And I'll show you some pictures where I was really, really happy. 2 things make me happy. And the third one, I found it in this state. The first one was when I was always in my rice farm. And then the manager would throw calabash, calabash. Once your rice is ripening, it will be dancing. Oh, it's so sweet. You feel like your stomach is all sugar. The second thing that makes me sweet is when I'm in the classroom. And when an intelligent student asks me a difficult question, and I had to go back, like 2 lessons back, to start explaining, it makes me feel, oh, I'm impacting the knowledge. The third one was in this state. When I go to commission, for example, water, and I see the joy in people's faces, happiness, genuine happiness, I feel very, very happy. That is the sweetest part of it. That is why I say it's bitter, it's sour, and it's sweet.
So how have you been able to navigate this terrain amidst the paucity of funds that troubles all states.
Paucity of funds, unfortunately for us. I tell my people that my predecessors, they have been galloping their chariot on 12 horses. You know, when you have 12 horses pulling your chariot, you're so comfortable. I don't have a donkey to pull my chariot. And you know how donkey, I don't know whether you ever grew up in the north. You know how difficult donkeys will be, even if they're carrying your bag, you have to keep for. I told them, this is the difference. There was money then, now there wasn't. Navigating. First, you have to be sensitive to the times. You know, God brought to me at this time, I won't now start complaining to people I don't have money and things like that. But the first thing I discovered was that there was so much leakages in the system. The salaries was quite high. The workforce was not commensurate with the salaries. And I started purging, and I started removing as many ghost workers as I can. I tell you, that too was part of the bitter story. Because I was matching every person's foot across the divide, across the society. But you see, sometimes you have to stand firm if you must get result. Here I am not having sufficient funds. Here I notice there are leakages. If I don't plug it, then I won't have the funds to do the work with. After a torturous almost 9 months, changing hands, changing consultants, changing people, I finally started getting results. And the money we saved for these savings, I now plow it back into what I call the 3,000 rescue teachers. And these 3,000 rescue teachers did wonders, because you have master's degree holders, BSc degree holders, HND degree holders, OND degree holders, higher school certificate. They are all there, because there are so many people coming to me looking for employment for their children that have graduated and they can't get a job. So all of a sudden I say, here is the floodgate open. And we took 3,000 people and we deployed them to the secondary schools, to the primary school, all across board. And I employed some professors, consultants, who were coming to train and retrain them. When I resumed here, it was a sad story. The WAEC was below 18%, very, very low, the worst in the Northeast. We rose it up to 20-something%, to 46%. We went to 50-something%, 60. And I told them that 60 is not a pass mark for me. We went to 70. I said, still, it has to be above 70. We went to 85.6%. I said, now we have passed.
That's the current pass.
Yes. And for the last 4 to 5 years, we've been number one in the country. When we were about 50-something, I think we were then number 3 or so in the country. So I don't know where we are now, because I haven't seen the current rating for this year. But the truth is, we made savings, and those savings went to where I needed it. Education. Because my state was very, very backward educationally. And the graph went up. That is a sweet story. So let me hear you, or I continue, because this is the education now. I can go on and on and talk.
Yes, I'm interested in education because people always say the North is disadvantaged. Are you saying that your state has reached the point now that it can challenge competently any states of our country in the WAEC and even ECO examinations?
Yes, if it comes to WAEC, ECO, and that, for now, as I speak to you, I comfortably know our students are doing wonderfully well. They are winning awards. And what shocked me is the short span of space that I could get a change so quickly. I didn't stop at that, because when you start correcting the primary to secondary school, you must think of the university.
Yes.
I changed the structure of the university. I constituted a board of professors emeritus, 8 of them reputable Nigerians. I said, please put an advert. I want to get the best person. And they did get me the best person. We were number 100 and something down the ladder. 100 and something among universities. The last rating this year were number 17. We had only, I think, 6 faculties. Now we have 11. When I came on board in 2015, there were only 2 professors. We have over 60 now, about 70. Yes! And I never knew the VC from Adam. The day he was arriving to resume here, I was joining the flight to Abuja, and he was busy asking them the direction to my house. They said, but you just passed the government. But this is the story of how our university gradually started climbing. Because education, like anything else, if you don't maintain the quality, you don't get the reputable people at the helm of affairs, just as you quickly rose up, you will quickly come down.
That's true.
But I tell you, I was moved the day the labor leader 3 years ago came in my office. They were demonstrating. He fell down. He said, sir, we can't demonstrate against you because you have done everything for me. I withdrew 3 of my children from University of Maiduguri. I brought them here. It's 3 times cheaper for me. And they are receiving this quality education. I said, then why are you in my office? I told you are leading the leaders of people demonstrating. He said, I'm leading them up to apologize. So, I'm happy sometimes. That is the sweetness, I tell you, I get. When people come to say thank you, you feel happy. So in education, we've gone up.
Now, there is the issue of internally generated revenue. States will be able to do a lot better when they can muster significant funds by way of internally generated revenue. What have you done in this area? Have you been able to move up the capacity of the state to generate internal revenue?
Yes, I have. I've moved it up, but it's not as successful as in other areas. I tried all kinds. I introduced all different systems. I made an annual revenue that is not up to 800 million, if I'm correct. I don't have the data in my front here. But we are hitting about 6 billion plus 7 thereabout annually. So it has dramatically gone very much up. But we're not there yet. One thing I'll tell you is that Taraba State, the quantum of food that is going out of this state, if we can get 1/10 of the tax, it will be more than the 6 billion or 7 billion we're getting. Yes. But I have serious problems. I've changed consultants more than 6, 7. Because they come in the beginning, they'll start very well, then they chicken out. They become bad. I remove them and put them. So now I'm trying to, I got somebody recently, he told me he has the device whereby they can be able to tax people more accurately, especially in terms of this food. You can't believe it, that during harvest like now, these traders that are moving our rice, our cassava, this, you go and check the movement in the account is more than 500 million. Yeah. And you find out from them, they are not paying 1 kobo tax. So we have to devise a means in order to be able to tax them. Because that is a large quantum of money moving between the buyer and the seller. And if I don't have the facilities for them here, they won't be making that money. I give them free fertilizer every year, free herbicide every year. I send choppers and this to kill their grasshopper and all these things when there is what do you call them, coming to eat the locusts and so forth. So if I'm doing that and I'm not benefiting as government, then something too is wrong with me. So I am trying my best now to see if I can be able to get that. That is agriculture. Mining is the worst. Just last week, I had to order for the arrest of a Chinese man who is in Nigeria without passport, who has been in the field in one bush, mining safari. So tell me, are we so porous? I don't know. I can't go to China without a passport. But they're here. Some are mining tantalite and so forth. If I can be able to get to a manner I can tax those that are solid minerals that are mining, that is another avenue for me to earn money on the federal government. All these combined two, mining, agriculture, cannot meet up with tourism if we are able to develop tourism. But how do you develop tourism when you don't have peace? Who will visit your site when they will kidnap him? Who will visit your site when they will kill him? Who will visit your site when he hears that they have murdered 11 people yesterday? Nobody will come there. They murdered 11 people in Manga yesterday. And that is lying by the Kashmir Dam. If you go there, it's one of the beautiful sites in this country. There was a time I was coming to land, I told the pilot, please don't land yet. Can you take me and circle around and let me see? And 2 days later, I got someone to carry me on the jeep. We went up to the mountain with this mountain jeep. It's a beautiful place, a beautiful site. But if you put a motel there, or a golf course there, or a swimming whatever there, who will come there? When he knows that some people will come and kidnap them or kill them. So peace is necessary for me to harvest the thought potential, that is tourism.
And that takes me to the novel idea that you came up with in respect of the water scheme, the attempt to turn that place to a tourist destination, complete with amphitheater, discotheque, restaurants, and other places. How did you come up with this idea? Did you borrow this idea from anywhere, or the creative juice of the architect in you. Since
Water is under my top priority. Now, what I did, if I may rewind backwards, you see this rescue agenda. I produced this one 15 days after my sorry. And what comes inside this rescue agenda? It's a small, tiny book, just about 20 pages. But there are pictures of what I met on ground when I was campaigning in 2014, 2015. And I move with journalists like this. They keep saying, why are you snapping photographs? I say, so that I'll remember what is happening when the time comes. They say, how do you know you will be a governor? I say, God will make me a governor. This one is children under the tree. Unfortunately, the tree has not fallen. So they are under a tree with sun beating them. So I wonder why. That was what attracted me to say they should take this photograph. Why is he putting these children under a tree when that tree has no leaves to give them shade? Now, we are talking about water. This woman was fetching water and taking turns with some pigs. The pig is on the background, somewhere here. And this is a water like spring water is coming from the ground. So when she has taken like 1-2 buckets, the pig will come and hit her on the bottles. She will give them chance. And then she will drink, the children will drink. Then she will come and beat them too with her bucket. They will go and stand and wait. They were taking turns. And I knew that my people have problem with water. And as I speak to you, we have sunk more than 2,000 plus boreholes, over 2,200 to 300 across the state. So water was my priority. The hand pump. There are those that with solar panels, but majorly the hand pump.
yes.
Having known that water is a problem, I decided I must do it around the state. When I resumed here, there was no water in Jalingo town for over a year. Yes. And unfortunately for this city, it's lying on the very, very poor basement that there is no water underground. You see so many rivers now because the rains is just receding now. But come here after 2 months or so, all those big bridges you see across, there will be no water flowing again. It just ceases. So it tells you there is a runoff from the rains, from the hills that are coming down that passes. But underground, nowhere you have water. We only, when I decided that we must have water in this town, we only got the point where we'll get water to draw water from only one point. And that was got from a consultant that had retired about 90 years. He's, I think, in Israel. We had to trace him to get the proposal he submitted when they created the state. And he gave us the detail. And when we went there and struck exact position of it, we got water. Now, the one you are seeing outside physically, those, the one, yes, on the mountain, is one of the overhead tanks. And it's sitting on the 15-story rock. And for me as an architect, I'm having a 15-story. That's where I needed to put the tank to give me pressure with water. And now we decided to raise it up and put the tank. So I felt I have about over 10 meters empty. What will I do? So I became more creative. I span it as a wing. The water is there. I put discotheque below. Restaurant 1, restaurant 2, restaurant 3.
The VIP
and
lounge.
the VIP lounge. If you go, they haven't finished it, but it's a fantastic work already coming out. Now, from that, down from the 15 floors, down like this, we are going to have amphitheater all the way down. So that when I come to campaign next, I'll be there. I don't need to rent anywhere. I'll make noise and pay them under the water. So, and it has now, it's going to be, of course, a touristic site. Those buildings you see under there, we're all going to turn it to an art shop where people can buy like this Sankara, buy the type of my dress, the one we locally sew, buy that, the whole of those shops, the ones on ground, you see it with red roof. Those ones, that's what they will say. So that it becomes a touristic site. And then, of course, it gives us revenue. We rent out these places, people have it. And during holidays, you can be sure that that will be a fun town.
Especially with the discotheque.
And the restaurant.
Yes. We gone around to see some road projects. And here you are expanding Federal Road from mile 6 up to after the airport.
After NYC, Joro, you know. Joro.
Do you expect to be reimbursed? Having been warned not to expect reimbursement, why are you focusing on these federal roads?
Well, let me briefly tell you that apart from being an architect, I'm also an urban and regional town planner. So one of the first things I did here when I arrived was to engage a reputable American company called BCG so that they could quickly put up a regional and master plan for me. They did. So the roads that are in my state here, the roads you see me building, they are the key roads that are bringing the produce of the farmers from the outside to the cities. Each of those roads, I can tell you where they lead to and where they will end up to. Now, I agree with you, it's our road. It's a federal road, but it's my people that are using it. If you're a leader, you have to think, is it, okay, you are not using this road. Let's take Baisa from Mararaba. When I went for campaign, it took us almost 5 hours, a distance less than 80 kilometers. That road was built, I think, in 1942. You can count the culverts. You can know that they are putting even the dates of renovation of the culverts. When those days of old of PW. Now, they have not put asphalt. It's less than 40 minutes. No asphalt. I'm sure by the time they put the asphalt, it will be like 30 minutes. Now, Kurumi local government is the only local government, about 2 of them, that I sent trailer loads of fertilizer when I resumed here, and it was returned.
You don't need it.
So I was asking why. I said, we don't need fertilizer here. But that will help your crop grow. No, he said, it would not help our crop grow. I said, why? They said, okay, you see maize. Maize will just grow like this tall without carrying any cob. I said, why? They say the soil itself is fertile enough. So when you add, then the maize will just grow tall and no cob there. You will not get any maize seedlings. So they just plant like that and harvest. And they plant 4 times a year because it's naturally fertile.
They plant maize 4 times.
Yes, yes.
Just.
So you find in such places, What do you do? These are your people. They are leaving your state. You know the problem. You know that they are one of those producing the highest quantity of food. And for years, they are told that this road is federal road. And nobody has been there to visit them. I said, we'll put the federal aside. I started the job. I borrowed money. Yes. They won't reimburse me. Yes. But at least my people are happy. When I went to Yola for a different program, I thought I'm done for the day. When I came, the whole place was filled up. I said, in Jalingo, I'm not resting. And then in Yola, they said there are people that are resident in Yola. And who are they? They are all from Kurmi to say thank you. Because they never believed they will get a road in their lifetime. If you go to the south, Ukari to Sukundi, all the yams you're talking about comes from that axis. All the grains comes from that axis. They have finished that one. If you go to Lecheki to Pantisawa, Mararaba, Lecheki to Pantisawa, yes. The sweetest yam in this country is got from there. The biggest yam is got from there. I'm yet to find out that reason. But I think because the soil is unique and the weather is slightly cold. But if you eat their yams, you will never eat any yam in Lagos again. You'll be ordering from here.
I saw their yams.
So you have to weigh the benefits vis-a-vis the sufferings. Do I let my people suffer because of federal road? Or do I do it for my people to be happy and improve their livelihood because these roads are necessary for them? I choose A. If the federal government reimburses, fine. If it doesn't, at least I've made something for my people. They're happy. I've reduced their pains. I've boosted their income.
What is the idea or what intention propelled you to begin the construction and the expansion of the Mile 6 road?
Mile 6 all the way to Jero,
Yes, because that one is passing through the heart of the town.
First, when I resume here, there is no week. In fact, it's an every other day there is a fatal accident. You get in 1 week you may get 2 or 3 deaths from accident with bicycle, motorcycles. We banned it. We started with a keke napep. It reduced. But then the problem is that the road is so narrow, the trailers cannot even go down because the difference with the third road and the down is like 1 foot, 1'6", except if the trailer is going to capsize. So they now park at half of it. And so half of it is the one people are managing to pass. And compounded with the numerous cycles, motorcycles, keke napep, accident rate was on and on and on. I was thinking, if this road is dualized and the town is expanding, this is a state capital. And I'm sure the only state capital without a dualized artery across. That's what made me to go into it. To decongest the congestion that was on the road. And it's a main arterial road from Jero, going straight to Yola. And on the opposite side, going straight to Kari and Makadi. So all the trailers, the big trucks are passing on this road every day. And sometimes even worse in the night when the traffic is less. So we had to go into it. We have to build a bridge, a major bridge, to the one existing. A very long flyover of a 3-kilometer stretch, because that there used to be a roundabout there, we'll call it a checkpoint. I think that's checkpoint.
Yes.
So in those days, that is where you have the bottleneck of traffic. Because those going east-west and those going south-north, the roundabout is too small to accommodate them. But now, when you're coming, you just go over, fly over the town, and you're gone. And so those within the city will pass underneath and connect the other districts. And I think people are extremely happy with it.
Yes.
And those who have only stayed in the capital, to them, that is the only development I've done, because some of them have not even gone to their village to check, see the ones that I'm doing in their villages.
But they always say you are not doing anything, that you are not working. It's not working. It's not. Can't you see what other governors are doing? That's what they say. And for a lot of the people that I spoke with, they are happy about these road projects, but they are worried. They are worried that some of them may not be completed before you go. And for those of them who never imagined that such project will be brought in their lifetime, they are thinking that if you don't complete those projects, they are doomed, and that will be the end of it. What is the assurance that you have for such people? I'm referring to the
Dual
road-
carriageway.
No, not even dual carriageway.
Which one?
Dual carriageway, there is sufficient evidence that it
They
will
will
be completed.
conclude. You're
Now,
talking with Mararaba, Lekechi
right up to
to Abong.
Yes. The pace of work there,
Yeah.
especially towards the end, the last two laws, the pace
Yes,
of work is not
yes.
encouraging enough to the villagers.
We will finish them before I leave. Despite this, we had problems. They kidnapped the Chinese workers there, and for several months, about 4 or 5 months or so, before they were able to release them with a high ransom. So those contractors moved out. We had to get more military and police presence for them, including the vigilante, before they moved back. And so when the one next to him, that is lot 2 and 3, with what happened, they slackened back. Now, the lot 1, which started earlier, also
They've gone
slack.
far with that one.
Yes, they are working hard, and they're the ones that we are hoping theirs will not have any hindrance. But even the 2, they won't have any hindrance at all, because we share the 3 lots equally to them.
To be home to most of the dams, right?
Because of the location of Kurumi is in the tropical rainforest. So
They grow cocoa,
they grow cocoa.
fruits.
They look, a lot of these traders, they come from Ogun, Oshun, they'll buy cocoa, they'll buy all the crops, palm oil, rubber is grown there. Yes, I'll give you a palm oil to go with. It's from there. I'll give you a carton, so that you give your wife, because the women, they treasure our palm oil more. So give your wife.
Thank you, sir.
So this is a tropical rainforest place. It has a lot of tributaries of rivers. And those rivers and those valleys, they leave very beautiful land for cultivation of crops.
How much does Nigeria need the Mambila project in your view?
We are 200 million people. We should be having not less than 200,000 megawatts. Now, ask me, we're hovering between 3,500, 4,000, 5,000 megawatts. Can that work? Look, let me tell you, Jide, Nigerians are very hardworking. Nigerians are intelligent. And Nigerians, they have the muscle, the drive.
They're enterprising.
Very much so. Very much enterprising. If you just give them this light, honestly, just forget about Nigeria. Nigeria will move on her own. And nobody will bother them. They will pay you the tax you want. Because everything will be working. You see this Mahalanti, why did it succeed? It's one tiny hydropower plant that makes it to succeed. Less than 1 megawatt. It has been humming for the last 6.5 years since I resumed here, non-stop. So the production is 24 hours.
We talked about insecurity as a disincentive for tourism and how on some occasions even contractors working on road projects have been kidnapped. Do you believe at this point that Nigeria needs state police? And what are you doing at your end to complement the efforts of our federal security outfits?
Look, in this country, we must tell ourselves the truth. And we must be honest if we want to manage ourselves. What will not work will not work. What will work will certainly work. We copied this constitution from USA, America. And in America, you have a local government police, you have a state police, and you have a federal government police. So that what is higher or difficult for the local police, the state police steps in. What is bigger for the state police, the federal police moves in. But I don't know for whose wisdom or the people who drafted the constitution, they quickly removed that and put it in the federal government. I was asking somebody that, why do you think they removed this and put it in the federal government? And he was saying, you see, if it's in the state government, they might misuse it. They will abuse it on their opponents. I said, are they not using it even the federal level to maltreat their own opponents? They're using it.
Yes.
I said, we just have to leave it and mature into it. Then I asked him, I said, do you know, I conduct my local government elections. And in my state capital, I was defeated. And they said, how can I be sitting here today? I said, but that's the result. Give them that, Leave what it is. They don't like me, they don't like me. So leave them now. Time will come if they will change their mind. Fine, that's politics. But where they like me, go there and give them that. I tell you, a lot of people were shocked in 2016 when we organized our election. I said, we have to mature into the system that we have adopted. If you do not entrust me with the police, how do I get the security? I've just told you the horrors of it. You see something happening, as a chief executive, you cannot order your police to go there. He has to take order, and the order has to be taken from another order. It takes time. You're talking about lives of people and their security. We must, as of a necessity, go back and create the state police. It's the only way out of this problem of insecurity that we're having all over the country. As long as we don't create it, we're still going to have this problem continuing. We compliment them.
Yeah.
Both the military, the police, the paramilitary, all of them will go, because you need peace. So if you don't assist them, how will they assist you? Sometimes they complain too. Oh, but we have to meet all the requirements and make them to feel that, okay, you know, that you are welcome and you're doing your duty, we will help you.
You have the Taraba marshals.
I do.
I saw the office and the unique building made from
Containers. That's part of the architectural touch I'm putting here.
So when is the security outfit kicking off?
Oh, they have started. We have trained over 2,000. They're distributed around the states. Oh, if you see them dressed, you will love them.
So that's your own Amotekun in Taraba.
Thank you very much. Taraba Amotekun. We already have it. They are marshals. They are there. So we are trying gradually to get them vehicles and equipment. But we've trained and we want to train more.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency, for the time. I wish you Godspeed as you continue to steer the ship.
I'm giving you this.
Thank you for the gifts.
Taraba State Governor Darius Ishaku. And if you don't move close to the man, you will know that it's something that's very, very funny. Here's some other side part of him.
Yes. He has a sense of humor that kind of even surprised me, because I never knew that side of him. And until the interview, I also didn't know that he had strong views about state police.
Yeah.
And I was one of those people who didn't want state police, but I'm a convert now, and I agree with the governor that if we do not come up with state police, we are just wasting our time. And I'm happy that at least some states are finding a way to even make up for the absence of state police by creating their own security outfits. So the governor has now created what you call the Taraba marshals. As he said in that interview, that is their own Amotekun. Amotekun has been a success story in states where they have successfully implemented, put them on ground. I can say that Osun and Ondo State, they are doing very well.
Oyo.
Yeah, Oyo too, they are doing well. The killings have come down. The security is a lot better. So we can't continue to rely on the federal police. They will do their best, but they need to be helped. By the time the federal police, by the time they see Amotekun as a helper or a partner in progress, and both sets of security outfits work together, we'll make progress. Taraba is a state that is really, really blessed. I didn't know before I went there that in Taraba they actually grow rubber. I didn't know that in Taraba they palm fruit.
Yes,
palm fruit, they have it. Yes, then tea. That is the only place in our country where you can grow tea.
They have their own power plants.
They have a power plant for the tea company. So it's 24 hours that they are working. They are packaging the tea. They can't even produce enough because the tea is of premium quality and they can't meet the demand. The governor would have loved to even export this tea, but they can't produce enough for us in Nigeria. So you can't be talking about export. Even timber. I've not seen anything that God has not blessed Taraba with. Taraba has shown to me that ours is a great nation, a nation of tremendous potential. We are a nation that is underrated in terms of what God has blessed it with. So if a governor can give trailer loads of fertilizers to farmers and they said, no, we don't need this. This land is fertile enough. Even in Benue, they still use fertilizer for their crops.
Another food for thought from from that interview, local government election.
Yes.
Because what we know that is the state government, the sitting party, the ruling
they
party.
They always want to win every local government.
Yes.
I've seen states where the ruling party lost some local governments and they withheld the results.
Yes.
Until they were able to find a way to rewrite the result.
And the state's independent electoral commission is always a kind of
supporting the ruling party in the state. So and the governor lost. He lost in Jalingo metropolis, and he said he was told, "How can you sit here and lose local government election here?" And he said, "No, I'm not going to change the result. If they don't like me, they don't like me. If we have lost the election, let it stand like that." You know? So that should be the attitude. That is an area where he won't win an election and he has accepted.
Very rare.
Yes.
It's not something that is common.
Yes, but the good thing is...
Both APC and PDP, they are
yes.
guilty of
No,
that
the
offense.
two parties are fond of that. Making sure that the local government election becomes a winner takes all. They don't even yield anything to the opposition. That's the way they are. But at least there is a governor who resisted the temptation to rewrite results after he lost the state capital. No, so that's a good
I'm sure
thing.
this ahead we'll see more governors.
Yes.
Countdown towards the 2023 election.
Yes. People need to see what their governors are doing. It's part of our responsibilities. We can't say because some parts of our country they are so distant
Taraba is far.
from Lagos. Of course, it's far. It's one of the farthest, and the third largest state in Nigeria. So we need people to know what their governors are doing.
I want to thank you, Babajide Kolade-Otitoju, for that exclusive interview with the governor of Taraba State. And that's our offering today. Join us tomorrow for another episode of the program. You can watch the repeat broadcast of this episode tonight at 11. And join us for Journalist Hangout on Sunday, 1:30 to 3:30 p.m. Journalist Hangout on Sunday. We're on YouTube, youtube.com/TVC News, Nigeria. I'm Ayodele Ozubaku. Bye for now and see you tomorrow.